Well, didn't the moose like have a penchant for like whiskey or drinking?
Yeah, he used to get into Tycho Brahe's beer. He had a
The
taste
moose
for
was
beer.
a drunk.
The moose was a drunk and
The
drank a
moose
lot
is
of beer.
loose.
To the point where one fateful day, he drank too much beer, got drunk, fell down the stairs, and died. And that was how the moose met its end.
Okay, that's a tragedy, but one. Okay, there's two things we need to at least start with here. How big was this flight of fucking stairs that the moose falls down? Because it's a massive staircase. One.
Yeah.
Two, can you imagine the fucking noise that made? Moose falling down the fucking stairs? Dude, I've heard a cat at 2:00 in the morning like fall off the counter, and it sounds like the goddamn house exploded. A fucking moose falling down the stairs? Christ!
Before we begin today's episode, we would like to share a quick disclaimer. The views, opinions, and statements expressed by the hosts and guests on this podcast are their own personal views and are provided in their own capacity. All content is editorial, opinion-based, and intended for entertainment purposes only. Listener discretion is advised. Welcome back to the Black Curtain Club. I'm Angie, and tonight we're diving into the wild and weird world of Tycho Brahe. He was a brilliant astronomer with a flair for the dramatic, a metal nose, and some really, really strange habits. So joining tonight is a good friend of mine, and I will say, West Virginia trivia champion, Scott Barber. Scott, how are you? Do you want to introduce yourself, say a few words?
Sure. Yeah. Again, Scott Barber. I'm also a native West Virginian, like Angie is. She and I have known each other since, we'll say, a long time. Yeah. Just some of the things that I'm known for is I'm a bit of a trivia geek. I'm not a good trivia player, but I know a lot of people who are really good trivia players. So I get to hang around those people and kind of ride their coattails onto bigger and better successes and whatnot.
Didn't you just say you were like the number one trivia person in your state?
Well, I've been on like team trivia. Yeah, I have just won my 8th team trivia state title a couple weekends ago. But again, team is the key there. So I just basically just sit around and nod and say, yeah, it sounds like a good answer whenever someone actually puts the right answer out there, and then on we go. And then I get to say at the end, oh, yeah, I won a bunch of stuff, when actually not so much. But
fair. Same.
But I like writing trivia questions. So
there you go.
So I've written a few trivia questions professionally. I wrote for a couple of board games that have been published, and big trivia geek, and like going down rabbit holes on various topics, kind of like the one we're going to be talking about today. Thank you both for having me on. I really appreciate the invite, and super, super excited to be here.
I'm happy to have you here tonight too, because this has been like, I don't even know how many years, but I remember you taking me down this rabbit hole of Tycho Brahe, and I have never forgotten this guy ever since. Like, it was 2 hours of absolute mayhem of a conversation about this guy. So, and I know, Kyle, you are a fan of history as well, and you've done a little bit of a rabbit hole on him. So let's just take it and tell me the story of Tycho. Scott, I'll let you open it up.
Sure. Yeah. No, again, this is one of those stories that we've talked about in the past, and it's just one of those figures in history that I don't understand how he's not more popular, given that there's so much lore about him historically. And I don't know how someone with such an interesting past hasn't become a household name even today. But nevertheless, here we are. But yeah, so Tycho Brahe, also called Tycho Brahe or Bra, but I like to call him Tycho Brahe, whatever. But just an interesting guy because he was a Danish astronomer who was influential to Galileo, was a contemporary to Johannes Kepler. And I mean, these are names that we know, but we don't know Tycho Brahe. And again, puzzles me as to why. But it started out when in 1546, picture it. Denmark, 1546. So, 1546, Tycho Brahe is born to a pair of Danish nobles. And around the age of 2, his life even starts out interesting because he's 2 years old and his uncle just decides, oh, I never had a male heir and I really want one. So I think I'm just going to go kidnap my nephew and raise him as my son. And he does. So
Jesus.
Classic. Classic.
So yeah, I mean, yeah, tale as old as time. So Tycho Brahe's uncle literally kidnaps him and raises him his own. And the craziest part about that story is that his parents were like, oh my God, our son, his uncle just kidnapped him and took him away. And then we're just kind of like, you know what's probably for the best. That's okay. And he'll have a good life there. He'll be all right. They didn't really pursue him. They just like, you know what, he'll be okay there. He'll be treated well there with the.
Like, what do you expect? It's 1500s Denmark. Shit happens.
Yeah, crazy Danish uncles just going to be like, yeah, okay, that's cool. But yeah, it's Jorgen Brahe was the uncle's name. Who?
Jorgen. Oh my God.
Yeah, Jorgen Brahe. Like, I mean, Tycho's a great. Yeah, I mean these are straight out of central casting with these names, right? Jorgen Brahe, Tycho Brahe but yeah. So the one kicker about Jorgen is Jorgen actually had a lot of money, so extremely wealthy person, and he ends up paying for all of Tycho's schooling and whatnot. And his uncle father, whatever you want to call him, Jorgen. So Uncle Dad says, hey, let's maybe lean into the law or something. And over time, he really want to study astronomy. Again, very new science. This is before the telescope had even been invented yet. But he was interested in astronomy, and that's kind of the way he went. So he was very good at natural sciences, mathematics. These are things that really interested him.
Fucking nerd.
Yeah, exactly, right? We don't like nerds. What's wrong? What's going on with these nerds, right?
Every family has a weird one.
Hey, and if they don't, it's you. I hate to break it to you. So.
Right.
Yeah. So whenever he went to school, around age 20, he gets into an argument with one of his classmates, and over, of all things, math. Oh, an argument over which one was right at math. So they decided to settle it the way that most people settle math debates, with a duel.
Sounds about right. Yeah,
right. Because that's
it is mathematical because you got to count the steps and then you got to do the angles and the trajectory and triangles and shit. There's math in it.
It's all the geometry is right there.
Yeah.
But so they decide to have a sword duel to battle this thing out because it got that serious. And in the process of the duel, Tycho Brahe ends up losing the duel, but not only losing the duel, his opponent literally cut his nose off of his face. Right? Oh, exactly. Right? Just no more nose. Right? And
got your nose. And thus that joke was invented.
Got your nose.
Got your nose. So for the rest of his life, again, he had means because of Uncle Father's money, but because of that, he was able to craft prosthetic noses out of silver and gold and brass and whatnot, and so he just wear like a metal nose on his face as a prosthetic. And they said that whenever he'd like get angry at people, he'd take his nose off his face, clean the snot out of it, and throw it at people. Just a kind of.
Well, you know what? Good for him. At least he cleaned the snot out of it.
Yeah.
Right.
Good for him. You know
Yeah.
what? That's class.
Chucking it
I
at
bet
people.
you know-
That might be a little far, but
Is that where the term snot-nosed brat came out of?
maybe. Yeah, that's exactly right. You snot-nosed Tycho. So imagine, this is like, again, this isn't current times. This is in the 15 and 60s, right? Imagine how bad a prosthetic nose has to fit. Like, a prosthetic nose wouldn't work today. Think of how bad a prosthetic nose would be in like 1566. And metal and stuck to your face.
Yeah.
That's
just all of it's terrible, right?
It's just yeah.
All of it's bad.
There's none of this. You can't sell this. There's no good here.
Right. There's nothing good there, right? But one thing he did have going for, again, Jorgen, the uncle father that he had a lot of money. And after his death, and after his actual father's death, Tycho Brahe inherited both of their estates, right? And when I say that this guy had money, I mean he had like Richie Rich money. He had like Bruce Wayne money. He had, it was estimated that his entire net worth after both of these inheritances came in was equal to 1% of all of the money in all of Denmark. So,
Jesus.
Dude,
yeah.
Betting on money.
Yeah, money, right? I mean, you lose your nose, but you have 1% of the country's economy in your back pocket. I don't know if that's still a good trade, but the money does help, right?
If I had the equivalent to 1% of the U.S.'s money, yeah. Fuck the nose. You can have my nose.
I mean, I'd at least consider it. It's one of those where I'd be like, maybe, you know.
I'm at least hearing you out. I'm at bare minimum. Right. I'm hearing you out.
100%, right? But one of the ways that Jorgen was able to get some of his money is because he was close to the King of Denmark, Frederick II, at the time. And actually, he saved Frederick II's life when he saved him from drowning, but ends up dying in the process because he catches pneumonia and dies. So even though he lost Uncle Father Jorgen and his real father passed too, he still has tight ties to the royal family, right? So he ends up going into astronomy, and because of his skill being able to navigate the stars and figure out things that had never been understood before, he sort of becomes a real popular figure in Denmark. One of the things he did is he discovered a supernova. This was in 1572. He discovers a supernova, and with his studies of the supernova, he's able to tear apart Aristotle's unchanging cosmos theory. So where Aristotle thought that the sky was a fixed sky, he was able to say, okay, no, actually, there's something going on here. We're spinning, yes, but the entire solar system is spinning, all of space. It's not a set sky as we previously thought. And his studies with the supernova was able to prove that. So he's kind of like a rock star when it comes to astronomy in these times. So a lot of different countries were offering to bring him into their country to study astronomy, teach astronomy, do the work for them instead of other areas. But King of Denmark, again, close ties to him and wanted to keep him there. So King of Denmark literally gives him an island, the Isle of Veen, right? And there is where he built a castle and an observatory. Urenborg is the name of the castle that he built.
Okay.
Builds that in around 1576. And that is where he pretty much started the idea of work hard, play hard, right? because even though he was doing a lot of really heady stuff, he was also, kind of a maniac. He would have these elaborate, crazy parties. He was known for elaborate drinking. And one of the things that was a little unusual about him is he had a pet moose that he kept in the castle, right? Like not a dog, not a badger, a moose, right?
Moose are not small.
No, they're not small.
Moose are not small, for those of you who don't know. Mooses is big as shit. It's huge.
So,
and they're not sweet animals. They're
fucking assholes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But this thing would be at all of the parties that Tycho Brahe would throw. And just everybody's just like, oh, okay, there's the moose. I just knew he had a moose in the castle, right?
Well, didn't the moose have a penchant for whiskey or drinking or something?
Yeah. Yep, that you're leading me right down to my next point. Yeah, he used to get into Tycho Brahe's beer. He had a
the
taste
moose
for
was a drunk.
the moose was a drunk and
the
drank
moose
a lot.
is loose.
To the point where one fateful day, he drank too much beer, got drunk, fell down the stairs, and died. And that was how the moose met its end.
Okay, that's a tragedy, but one. Okay, there's two things we need to at least start with here. How big was this flight of fucking stairs that the moose falls down? Because my parents' house is 13 stairs, and the flight, a moose is fucking clearing that. It's what? Just a little trip in that, because moose, just
but
this giant tumble.
Keep in mind,
exactly. So that's a massive staircase. One, two. Can you imagine the fucking noise that made? Moose falling down the fucking stairs. Dude, I've heard a cat at 2:00 in the morning fall off the counter, and it sounds like the goddamn house exploded. A fucking moose falling down the stairs. Christ.
I want to know if he ate him. That's the thing I was always curious about.
I'd be shocked if he didn't.
Be like, you know what? I hate to see him go, but I hate to put the good meat to waste. It's not like I can run down to the local Kroger and pick up a couple ribeyes. I've got a big ass moose here that I can just take probably about 500 pounds of meat off of.
Yeah, it was already marinated in beer.
It had a beer brine in it.
You know what? Exactly. He took him outside to the spit. They had tenderized. They had, and thus this man he was a trendsetter too. Beer can chicken. He had beer can moose.
Exactly.
There you
Delicious. Go. But yeah, so
I got choked on that one. Beer can moose. Sorry. Shit. All right, go ahead. Proceed.
No, just the guy again. Tycho Brahe, massive partier, and another eccentricity, we'll call it, that he had.
Is this where you're going to talk about Jepp?
Yeah, this is exactly where I'm going to talk about Jepp.
Okay.
Yeah. Tycho Brahe.
Jepp is my favorite.
Tycho Brahe had a companion named Jepp that lived with him in the castle, and Jepp.
You're being very liberal and nice by saying companion.
Well, I'm explaining.
Okay.
I'm explaining the companion.
Okay.
So Jepp's companion, Tycho Brahe's companion Jepp was a dwarf jester.
Jester.
A dwarf jester. Yeah.
Of course, because the man who owns a moose that he would get drunk with fucking natty ice, why wouldn't he have a midget jester?
Yeah, exactly.
A descendant of Brad Williams, I believe.
So he keeps this jester around for the jokes and the tricks and stuff. He made him sit under the table during meals.
So just stand there?
Just to hang out, I think. Just as a gag.
Just stand there.
Yeah. But the coolest thing about Jepp is Tycho Brahe honestly, in his bones, thought that he was a psychic and had precognitive abilities.
He thought he was, or Jepp was?
He thought Jepp had psychic
that's
and precognitive abilities.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, he thought he had a psychic jester dwarf named Jepp that just lived with him, right? I mean, imagine like it. I just imagine like Ricardo Montalban and Tattoo, with the matching suits. These guys.
The moose, boss, the moose.
The moose, boss, the moose.
He fall the floor, he gone.
The moose, he fly, he fall. The moose, he dead. Imagine if he made Jepp try to carry the moose out after he was like,
this man owned.
Hey, Jepp, clean up on all four, buddy. How about we get this moose out of here?
Wait, this man has no nose. It's gold. He would clean it out and throw it at people. He owned arguably one of the largest land animals and the smallest version of a human.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's great.
And the thing is, no one told Jepp that he was just a companion, because I'm pretty sure from Jepp's point of view, he was a captive prisoner. he was like
So it was just like, I'm a slave to this guy. Yeah,
he just kidnapped him. He goes like, "Why are you taking me? Listen, my uncle, father, brother did this. You'll be okay. Look at me. I'm fine.
I have all the money, kid. Do you not know that I could buy like 1,000 of you guys?"
Oh God.
But yeah, so Jepp. Yeah, again, I have this mental image of him trying to carry the moose out, kind of like the dwarf in Bad Santa trying to pick Billy Bob Thornton up after he's drunk,
Yes.
Well, okay. So if memory serves me, he also was quite a ladies' man.
Oh, yeah.
Wasn't he like fucking a queen or something?
Yeah. There was rumors that he had an affair with Frederick II's wife. That was one of the prevailing rumors over the years. And I mean, that may be the most fascinating thing about Tycho Brahe is imagine he's Tony Stark, but for the 1500s, right? But at the same time, do you know how much game you have to seduce a queen when you've got a metal nose? Like,
if it was gold, if it was gold, probably not any at all. Yeah. He was just like, "Hey, check this out."
Yeah, but she's still a queen, though, like a literal queen.
It's
like
1500s. People slept with, like, if they had it, they literally pissed and shat in a pot in their room. I think you're giving. I think you're giving the royals
the Queen of Denmark. I mean, that's pretty high. I mean, if she's caught in this, they're both dead. But I mean, that's some serious riz, though. I mean,
like, she couldn't get enough. She couldn't get enough of him. What I want to know is, like, did he keep it on like during? Like, did she know what he looked like without it? Like, were the lights off? Like, what was the whole...
Were the lights off? What, you mean the fucking candles out? It's 15, whatever the fuck.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
He's got like a... imagine Tycho Brahe, like, just has Jepp holding a torch over beside the bed. Keep that torch lit, Jepp. I need to see the queen's titties.
Hold the fucking light over here. I said, right here.
Don't burn her ass. What are you doing? Get it back.
I think he's working on an old fucking Oldsmobile. Hold the fucking light right here, I said. 10 goddamn times.
I just don't understand the whole setup there.
Yeah, well, I'd have to say you'd have to keep the nose on. I mean, that's got to be a bit of a turnoff, staring into somebody's skull, basically. Like,
I mean, yeah.
Wow, Miss,
Jepp's over there like, I've got to get on LinkedIn and find a new job.
You think you got a shitty job? Also, to feel like that, he's got to be careful when he's like motorboating her. He's doing that because if he just like reads the wrong way instead of like just going, blah, 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 it's just gonna go.
Yep.
It's gonna make one of those fart noises like a raspberry, like right in the middle there. He'll go take a breath and you sure.
No. Yeah. Oh God. Yeah, like, I mean, that and on top of it, again, he's like a super genius. I mean, he's probably risen with the tism as well. But I mean, to be.
Did you say he's risen with the tism?
How? Yeah.
Risen with the tism.
Just eat up with it. Yeah.
How's it going, Your Highness? You like trains? What's a train? I don't know.
I don't know, but I wish I did. I'd watch them all day.
All right, go ahead.
Again, he's got this observatory and castle on his private island, and part of that is he uses these things called brass quadrants. Now, imagine like it's like a big, almost like a protractor that we'd use today, like a quarter of a circle shaped piece of equipment, but it's extremely large. It's like almost the size of a room. And with this piece of then considered technology, he was able to precisely measure where planets and stars were with the precision of like modern day calculations. Some of his calculations were ridiculously precise, like even to today's standards would be considered extremely precise. So because of that, he was able to map out the stars and figure that, okay, again, a lot of the universe is moving. It's not just our planet, and it's leaning toward the heliocentric model of Copernicus more than anything else. So he's figuring all of this out and coming up with these massive breakthroughs. Again, all without the advantages that all without a nose. Thank you. Yes,
or a moose,
but also without telescopes, which would come around in the Galilean eras. But so he ends up becoming a contemporary again with Johannes Kepler, because he ends up sort of in a situation where he's wearing out his welcome back in Denmark. So the Holy Roman Emperor decides to send him to Prague. Says, you can be the official imperial astronomer of Prague. And so he goes to Prague, and that's where he meets Johannes Kepler. And he and Kepler were kind of like frenemies in a way. They did a lot of really good research together, and they did a lot of good work. But Kepler was very open to sharing his information with Tycho Brahe. Brahe did not do that with Johannes Kepler. He hoarded almost all of his research, right? So he keeps all of the information away. And because of that, when he eventually died, they say it advanced astronomy even further because they could actually get to the information that he left behind, where before he gate kept it, basically, right?
God.
What a fuck boy.
So at the end of his life,
by his own petard.
Hoisted by his own petard. Damn guy.
We can't use that word anymore. It's not right.
It's not. So toward the end of his life, he actually dies of a burst bladder, and the reason is the stupidest reason of all. Right?
Well, it's like the stupidest way to die. So it better be a stupid reason
than that. So 1601, he's at a royal banquet, and he has to go to the bathroom because he's drank like a fiend, like he usually does. But because of keeping up appearances and saving face and all that jazz, he doesn't go.
What's left of it?
Yeah.
Saving face.
Well, that's why he's got to save it. Yeah. So he won't go to the bathroom because he felt like getting up and leaving, even just enough to go to the bathroom, would be considered rude. So because of that, he ends up getting a bladder infection, and his bladder ruptures, and he dies. Again, the stupidest way to die, out of pride.
That's such a gangster life. That's how you get it?
Yeah, that's how you go out.
Should have known. Should have fucking known.
But in recent years, they've exhumed Tycho Brahe, and it turns out that they found a lot of mercury in his remains. So,
Oh yeah.
so they think that he was actually poisoned by either the new king, who, after Frederick II died, his son took over, and he was like, "Hey, I think this guy's stooping my mom, so I think I'm gonna, I think I'm gonna kill him, but I'm gonna keep it secret." So it was either him, or some people even believe Johannes Kepler poisoned him with mercury just to get him out of the way so he could get to his damn notes, right? So either way, it is now believed that he was killed from mercury poison.
Huh. Well, did they know mercury was poisonous back then?
Yeah. Still a lot of mystery shrouded in the way they died, as opposed to what they originally thought with just the bladder bursting on its own.
But remember, it's not how you die, it's how you lived, how you'll be remembered.
Yeah.
Owning mooses and midgets.
Owning mooses who chuck themselves down the stairs drunkenly, having psychic dwarves running around the place.
So I did a deep dive not too long. It's been a few months ago because I was thinking about this whole thing. And no one really knows what happened to Jepp. I was curious. I was like, well, what happened? And so I think what I read was that they believe that he fled his captivity and pretty much served the rest of his life in like traveling shows, or he just fell into the confinement of, someone else.
Yeah.
But no one knows what happened to Jepp.
Man, poor Jepp. He might still be running around there his days.
Yeah, I told you. We now know him as Peter Dinklage.
Yeah. But yeah.
Hell of a story.
Great life. I mean, again, how do we not have entire series based around this guy?
Pretty sure I know why. He was batshit insane.
Yeah, but so cool doing it, though. I mean, he was interesting, right? Like, most interesting guy in the 1500s.
Most interesting man. That's who you should have had for fucking Dos Equis. You should have had this guy. I don't always drink beer because my moose drinks it all on me.
Just pay him in Dos Equis. He'd be like, all right, you got enough for a moose? Because I got another one.
Yeah, I got a moose load. That's a weird unit of measurement. You have no idea.
Yeah,
it's accurate. That's a weird unit of measurement.
I need a moose load for my loaded moose is what I need it for, yeah.
I shot for this bears. What's theirs?
Hey, Rocky.
You beat me by 1 second on that one. Hey, Rocky. Watch me pull a rabbit out of my hat. It's a flask. Oop, wrong hat.
It's a flask. Oh, God.
I was just seeing Bullwinkle doing fucking keg stands now.
Oh, that trick never works.
Well, I think we're just about at time, so we're going to wrap this up. Thank you so much, Scott, for coming to our little corner of the internet and sharing this story of Tycho Brahe, the weirdest man I've ever read about. Thank you so much for listening to Black Curtain Club. We've really enjoyed having Scott here. Please make sure that if you are enjoying this podcast, that you leave us ratings and find us on social media. Thanks again, and we'll see you next week.
Going down another rabbit hole, that's how I found out that George Washington actually died. He was outside, caught a sore throat, and the doctor's literally like, okay, well, we need to bleed him out and get the bad blood out of him, and it killed him. So,
the way you paused there, he was like, this is how I found out George Washington died. I wanted to say, I know you have a big brain, but if you're just now finding out George Washington is dead.
Washington was dead? What? And made a memorial to him.
I think you need to give your Mensa card back.
No, but when George Washington died, it was because he had a sore throat, and they was like, okay, well, let's get all the blood out of you. And it was like, no, that's like the exact opposite of what you need to do. And sure enough, 3 days later, he's dead. Also, fun fact about George Washington, he was terrified of being buried alive. So he, in his will, said, you'll leave me out for 3 days to make sure I'm dead before you do anything to me.
Yeah, he's another one for history that we all just kind of sweep a lot of his shit under the rug. Like this guy, we just sweep all of him under the rug, but we sweep a lot of shit about. Like Washington has got to be the closest thing we had to our own Rasputin. Like that man was off the fucking rails.
Yeah, he's wearing other people's teeth in his mouth, and yeah, just insane stuff about Washington.
Wasn't the top jaw, like all the ones in his top teeth were like horse teeth also.
Yeah,
something like that. Allegedly, giant teeth.
Yeah, he definitely had just a fucked up grill.
But at least he had a nose.
Grill.
But he did have a nose. Yeah,
he had a nose.
He had a prominent schnoz there. You can see it on all the dollar bills. Yeah,
and the quotas. Don't forget the quarters.
Oh God. Okay. Let me do a little outro and then I'll stop this recording.